Francis, and Francis is Managing Director for Lyncean Holdings. Francis, great of you to come in as ever. Okay, let's start off with HSBC. Yeah. You're calling the stock price to go up to 75.
Yeah, I think the investment community will look for something like 25% increase in 2011 earnings. We'll pay particular attention to the fourth quarter earnings because of write-down in Europe and the U.S. earnings probably will fall by 40% or more.
But is the bad news all gone now? Is that the way the people will say that? Okay, 2011 was a terrible year.
Yeah, that's right.
But we're out of the woods.
Well, last year in the third quarter, provision for U.S. debts increased. I think that will decrease slightly in the fourth quarter, but provision for European sovereign debt will increase in fourth quarter. So, if you look at it, people start to think maybe 2012 will be better because the worst of the provisions will be over. So we can look forward to a better year. So share price will rise.
Okay, when I have a look at also, I think we've got a few property companies as well. New World Development. We've got also Sun Hung Properties. We've got that one. Yep, that's a couple of those property ones. How are they doing? And tell me your view of the real estate side of things.
Well, surprisingly, ever since the Hong Kong government introduced additional tax, stamp duty tax on the property speculators, actually property prices went down slightly in the new year. But recently, property prices going up again. In one of the major city blocks in the Sha Tin First City, actually, on a per square foot basis, it reached an all-time high. So that means actually there is still very strong demand for properties in Hong Kong. So,
but is that going to be reflected in the numbers we get?
I think so, because actually property prices in 2011 reached all-time high. So I think the property developers will report record earnings in 2011.
Okay, well, let's quickly move to Standard Chartered now as well. Of course, this is the British bank which does nearly all its business outside of Britain. I think only about 10% of it is done in Britain. So, again, this is a bank not really exposed to Europe, so it should do all right.
Yeah, well, the outlook for Standard Chartered is murkier because it's heavily exposed to India. And India has some problems starting from the fourth quarter of last year. Inflation pickup, and also the rupee actually depreciated.
It's doing very well this year, though.
Yeah, this year. But last year's figure will reflect the difficulties in India. So maybe the results will not be a surprise analyst.
Okay. Also, what about just now, also Hong Kong Exchange?
Well, Hong Kong Exchange, because the low turnover last year, actually we expect the results to be slightly below that of 2010. So this is reflected in the share price. It's down slightly today. So I think unless, of course, 2012 will be better because the turnover has since increased a lot.
Tell us about the general mood. I mean, we have had 10 weeks now of rising equity markets across Asia, the MSCI Asia-Pacific market there. Now, the index is doing that. We haven't ever seen that. This is unprecedented.
Yeah, that's right.
But is it just too much, do you think?
Not really, because last week, actually, the Hong Kong equities fell slightly. It's the first time in 8 weeks, the first decline in 8 weeks. But
overall, we're talking about...
But overall, it's still on the rising trend. It's meeting some resistance at the 22,000 level.
Yeah, the Hang Seng you're saying,
yeah. But it's like the 13,000 for Dow Jones. I think it will breach it. I think I look forward to 25,000 later this year, maybe in the third quarter.
I've got to just leave things, I'm afraid, Francis.